Good morning. My name is Joe Biden. I'm Jill Biden's husband. And we're here for the same reason that you are. Because we lost part of our soul when we lost our beautiful son, Beau. And like many of you, we know that we have to do everything in our power, everything that we can possibly think of to prevent other parents from losing a son or a daughter or a mom or a dad. And all of you, many of you have been through this similar experience. And I wanted to be the first one to welcome you to the Biden Cancer Summit. All of you in this room and those viewing the summit through our website at bidencancer.org, welcome. And thank you for caring so much. I think we have an incredible program today with some of the leading cancer experts in the world, patients, survivors, and caregivers. But it's about so much more than what's happening here in Washington, D.C. I want the press and the public to understand what's going on here. Today, Jill and I are calling for the entire nation to come together and take on cancer as part of the Biden Cancer Summit with a much greater sense of urgency, the urgency of now. 18 million people will be diagnosed with cancer this year around the world. 18 million. And if we maintain the status quo, that number will be 26 million people by the year 2020. 26 million. And you know, the single greatest reason why life expectancy is protected not to grow is because of cancer around the world. We're hosting this event in Washington, D.C., attended by about 350 people, patients, caregivers, researchers, clinicians, nurses, leaders of cancer advocacy organizations and pharmaceutical and insurance companies, and health information technology and data companies. But the summit is far beyond Washington. We're working with partners across the country and beyond to host 450 of these summits in every single state in the nation, in Canada, Nigeria, and Kenya. These events are large and small, hosted in living rooms, cancer centers, and community hospitals, with all sorts of people who are impacted by cancer. Even members of Congress, many have stepped up. 6 senators, 11 House members are hosting events in their home states and their home districts because they understand the urgency of now. Each community summit is choosing an issue that most impacts their community, that those people in their community most want to talk about. And they'll be watching some of our events here as well. They'll be using video modules that we pre-recorded with experts discussing topics from innovation, prevention, survivorship, and so much more than a dozen in total. But most importantly, they'll be having conversations about how to make progress for patients and caregivers in their communities. And we'll be in touch with each and every community summit to learn about the examples, the ideas, the new actions that result from their events today. And today, we celebrate the survivors and the caregivers, the doctors, the nurses, the researchers, the scientists, by highlighting their stories and their courage. But we're not here just to talk. We're here to act. In June, we issued a call to action that has elicited more than 50 new actions and collaborations that are being announced today as part of this summit, on top of the hundreds of actions that occurred when we did the Moonshot Summit. Here on this stage and via live stream on our website throughout the day, you can hear from the leadership of a number of organizations and companies talking about the commitments they're prepared to make to ease the burden on cancer patients and their families. And many of you know the real burdens. How do I get to my chemo? Who's going to take care of my baby? I don't have the money for the cab or the car. Who's going to help me? Who's going to just make sure that someone's here to cook the meal for my kids if I'm not here. You can find all of these new commitments to action at bidencancer.org. And I urge everyone to go and see what we're doing, because there's a whole lot of hope and a whole lot of progress being made. You know, we started as a program in the White House in 2016, the Cancer Moonshot, and I'm ever so grateful to the President for setting this up and allowing me to run that effort. This moonshot went from being a goal to a movement. There's not a single place I go, and I mean this around the world, and I still travel the world, meeting with foreign leaders or walking through an airport here in the States or just going to my local diner, that someone doesn't come up and talk to me about cancer. The first thing they want to talk to me about cancer. What are we doing? What hope is there? I've got a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, me. Because of the work of the entire cancer community and so many individuals impacted by cancer, we're making some real progress. We're breaking down silos. There's so much more you guys are doing. So I want to thank you all for being here. And thank you for the commitments to this cause. The urgency of now is essential. Now, not tomorrow. You know, those of you who are clinicians, those of you who are oncologists, how many times has a patient said to you, "Doc, I know I'm not going to live, but can you give me one more month? Because I want to see him graduate. Can you give me just 3 more months? I can get my finances in order so she'll be okay." Doc, it's about days. It's about weeks. It's about months. It's not about years. Too many patients, families, and caregivers are depending on all of us. And I am absolutely convinced, beyond any shadow of a doubt, we can make hope real. Make it real. People desperately are looking for hope. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done and all you're going to do. I'm looking forward to a good day. Thank you.